Okay, this is a little bit more impromptu because honestly, I didn't know if this show was actually going to get reviewed, and I didn't really think much going into this, but hey, what the heck? Why not talk about it anyway? The Bash in Berlin, Germany. Another international WWE pay-per-view show, which it's going to be a lot to say about this with only 5 matches, and I'm going to speak on that a little bit later on too, but given this afternoon in America when this show started about midday, there are some things to talk about with this show, and a few interesting news out of this whole thing and whatnot. But let's get right into it and whatnot. Because first off, let's introduce my co-host for this show this evening.
Yep. Oh man, straight face 40. We back at it again with another show. Bash in Berlin. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I just didn't see one match, and we're gonna get to that match, but I really didn't see that match at all.
Yeah, I liked the show. I thought it was good. And whatnot. So I think one thing is once again the crowd. Even though I don't understand half the chants they are saying, we will get to them kind of amusing themselves. That kind of kept this show really going at all time high thanks to the crowd and whatnot. But let's get right to it with the WWE title on the line, kicking off the show. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on commentary. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. The WWE title, with the story being going into this, is that will Kevin Owens turn? Since that's been teased going on for several weeks now, and will he focus on Cody's leg that they brought up yesterday? Because that's one thing about this whole match is Kevin Owens going to turn heel or betray Cody? And yeah, I would say it's about this match. I think it was solid. I think it was a really good opener. Obviously, the crowd was into it. The first chant they did, which they had to translate, was "in your face," which I don't know why they chanted "in your face." I don't know who that even was directed towards, but there was a lot of
Not,
chants throughout this
not.
match.
Oh no, no, not to cut you off. The in your face was nah. They was like the first chant before in your face was "Welcome to Germany." Then they chanted in your face, like how they basically saying, we in your face now. You know what I'm saying? We Germany, welcome to Germany, we in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like how being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a aggressive chant. I had to get it too once I heard Michael Cole translated. But yeah, my bad about that one.
It's cool, but nah, it was a lot of chants throughout this entire match. Honestly, like the whole match itself, like I said, it was solid. It was solid. It was a good opener. It was a good match. I just didn't really. I felt like once it kind of got because this match went like 23 minutes, but once it felt like it got towards like the last like 5-6 minutes, that's why I feel like the story was kind of coming more into play, especially with Cody's knee, I guess giving out, and Owens not even wanting to attack his knee because I guess Cody was going for like another Cody cutter, and he slipped and whatnot. And he buckled, and then Owens like he was gonna power bomb him on the apron, but he didn't want to do it, but he threw him back in and hit him with a stunner. Then he's gonna go for another one, but Cody ended up hitting like two crossroads and whatnot. He went for the third, but Owens got the stunner. Uh, Cody ended up kicking out of the stunner again, which let me just say this too. I'm really surprised that they've had Cody Rhodes kick out of 2 stunners. Okay, like I talked with Shaggy about this earlier today, but I'm like, well, shit, let's just kind of kill Austin's finish when you really think about it. Because, like, damn, who kicks out of a stunner twice? Please tell me when, because I was actually surprised to see that. Kevin Owens then he went for Swanton. Cody put his knees up. Cody ended up hitting the crossroads, and he got the win. Like I said, it was a good match. A lot of good near falls. Obviously, a lot of somewhat brutal moves, brain busters off the top and second ropes and whatnot. And then after, Cody, ended up shaking Kevin Owens' hand, which he didn't want to do, and they hugged, which I thought was funny that Owens ended up slapping the camera away from them for a second, and then they just raised each other's hands and all of this. But like I said, it was a good match. The story to me going into this thing, I feel like the story was kind of wonky, especially just, it's like, okay, Cody gives Owens a title shot for giving all the help he's done for him. even though Owens didn't want it. And then the story just kind of turns to, will Kevin Owens turn? Which, in a way, I felt like it was going to happen. But, one would put, given looking at this, like, if he had turned on here, especially if he lost, because, like, if he turned, I feel like he would have had to win the title. But then again, they're not taking the belt off of Cody Rhodes anytime soon. So it was just mostly a tease throughout the whole thing. And not really going into this story. Like I said, I talked to Shaggy earlier. He was kind of like, hey, we could have just had Owens just still be friends with Cody and say, like, hey, I'm not going to betray you, but I'm going to, give everything I have and do what I can to beat you, instead of like teasing him to turn heel on Cody and whatnot. Because did I feel like a heel turn was coming? Yeah, but it was just a tease. That's all it really was, a tease. And I feel like the knee thing, given that they talked about the knee thing on SmackDown yesterday, even though I felt it was kind of last minute they brought it up, it did play into the match. But like I said, I like the match, but I feel like the last 5-6 minutes is what really kind of mattered into this whole thing. So it was a good opener and everything, but come on, nobody really thought Cody Rhodes was ever gonna lose the title right here. So good opener though.
Well, I see earlier today I gave it my second favorite, my second best match of the night, but it really failed. Since I really have to sit down and really think about it, because to be really perfectly honest, I didn't mind the little things that they put in there with Kevin Owens, Mike Turn, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's good. That you could add on some old stuff to Kevin Owens character. But what I didn't like is the 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 constant knee thing like that. Like my goodness, I don't want to attack the knee. I don't want to take the victory. But hold on, time out here. Time out. Everybody hurt in every sport. I'm sorry. You know what I said? No, the Lakers ain't gonna go into the game and say, "Oh, we ain't gonna go against the Phoenix Suns because they got Kevin Durant tonight, and we don't want to take the victory." Do you hear something like that? No. So I didn't like that. I just didn't really like that. And say, you win by any means necessary. You just don't cheat. You ain't cheat, okay? It ain't like you went in there and cheated. The man was just hurt. And then, so that little wrinkle, they could have just, popped that little wrinkle out. They ain't even needed to mention that last night on SmackDown, to be honest. It didn't even matter. But I wanted to talk about the finishes, right? But I understand what you're saying about the Stone Cold Stunner, but at the same time, though, seeing Cody jumped out of 3 spears, you know what I'm saying? Like I seen people jump out of multiple times and finishes. I don't know that I agree with you with that, right there. I seen multiple guys jump out of multiple finishes. And I'm like, all right, I ain't seen, I guess, especially nowadays anyway, you see that a lot. So I just feel like it's a part of the game now, especially big matches like this. You go see people jump out of 5,000 finishes. I'm kind of used to it now. Nobody wins off of one finisher nowadays.
True. I just do feel like, not to cut you off, like I feel like the Stone Cold Stunner has been protected, for so long and everything. I just not really expect somebody to kick out of a stunner twice. I just like, and you're right about people just kicking out of multiple finishers. Like we see that a lot nowadays. Like there's a lot of examples I could bring up. Hell, I've seen Cena give Roman 4 FUs and one off the top rope, and he still kicks out and win by one spear,
Mm.
and whatnot. So there are examples of it. It's just like with the stunner, it's just one of those things that are just so protected. It's just kind of like, well, shit. I'm surprised he kicked out of two of them right here. But you're not wrong about everybody just kicking out of everybody's finisher nowadays, especially when it comes to like big pay-per-view matches and whatnot. So like you do expect people at least kick out of one or two of them. Hell, we've seen people kick out of like damn near 5, 6 of them half the time. So I was just kind of surprised, like, well, damn, kicked out the Stone Cold Stunner twice. Like, quite interesting.
But yeah, it's like I kind of figured that Kevin Owens was gonna be a red herring when it comes down to turning on Cody, because they know where the money match is. They don't care that, I mean, they're not looking at Owens to turn on him. You already know the man who they looking forward to turn on him. And we already know Mr. RKO. That's who they looking for. That's who the fans are looking forward to it. The fans, they love Randy, but they know Randy is better as a heel than he is as a face. He excellent as a face too. Don't get me wrong, he's good as a face, but he is diabolical as a heel, and we all know that. So so they looking forward to him turning. I could really see it coming probably this Friday. They probably use Solo as a red herring, thinking because everybody voiced their opinion about they don't want to see another match. So they probably use Solo as a red herring, thinking like, oh man, we're gonna come in, we're gonna beat up Cody Rhodes, and we're gonna get ourselves another match. You know what I'm saying? For the title. Then KO and Randy Orton probably come in and help him out. Yeah, all of a sudden after they clear the ring, he'll probably pop a RKO on him in the middle of the ring. That probably happened this Friday. But nah, they weren't gonna, do KO. Nobody really looking forward to that. I ain't hear nobody talk about that at all. So yeah.
Yeah, we've already heard of people wanting Orton turn on them and whatnot. Because, like, yeah, you would expect Kevin Owens to really do this. Because one, it's not like Kevin Owens had, like I said, we've seen Kevin Owens portray, which they, like I said, they showed all those video packages of him portraying Sammy multiple times, John Cena, Chris Jericho. Which, I know some people are surprised that they played that footage, given he's in AEW right now. But I think it's because people don't really look at not Jericho. I think WWE just doesn't look at AEW's competition. And like who else he betrayed? Kofi Kingston, which he said he didn't deserve it. By the way, Kofi didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
But like Kofi's the one that he didn't deserve the betrayal, but everybody else they had it coming apparently. So, like I said, they tried to build something off of it. I just thought the story was just kind of wonky going into it, but like I said, it was still a good match and everything. But he like said, who really thought Kevin Owens was really gonna win here? They just needed something for Berlin, and maybe they do him and Randy next. I don't know, but we'll get into that later on. But it was a good opener though, so good match, good opener.
Yeah.
Uh, moving on though, we now go into Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus the Unholy Union of Alba Fire and Isla Dawn for the women's tag titles. I'm gonna be honest, I was somewhat in and out of this match. I didn't think it was bad, other than maybe a few botches here and there, which you just kind of see a few slip ups and whatnot. But I just feel like this was the cool down match, and you can kind of tell by the crowd at some points, like they were kind of into it, but I think it fell, like crowd kind of fell flat through this, and they made it as competitive as they could in this match. They had like 12 minutes and everything. Just looking at this match, like I'm not even really surprised that Jade and Bianca won the titles back. Okay, like because now it's like who really about to beat them now? Because let's remember, Alba and Isla won these titles because it was a triple threat tag back at Clash the Castle, and they ended up pinning like Baszler and them and whatnot. And like I don't really care much for the women's tag titles. I know WWE trying to get this over, but it's like, dude, I look at the division. It's like whatever, whether it be Raw or SmackDown, of how much of there is in the women's tag division. I don't know, whether it be Damage Control, which still suck, but they only like EO really. The Pure Fusion Collective or Reactor Control or the nuclear power plant that's in Springfield on The Simpsons. Whatever wacky name they came up with, that is still the stupidest team name I've heard. Pure Fusion Control. I'm gonna just keep saying the stud line. I'm gonna just keep saying that. But yeah, but wouldn't that be like what makeshift women tag teams they've made up already? Because like, well, who else is a team? Green and Piper, I believe they're still a team. I like I said, man, they just doing what they can to get these titles over. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I said this back at SummerSlam too. When it comes to like Bianca and this whole team thing, like, yeah, I get it kind of gets out of the way from the main title, which I feel like she should be back going for like one of the main titles right now. Well, she's on SmackDown, but going for the WWE, the women's title itself. But even I thought it was so strange. I don't know why I just said back at SummerSlam, man, it's kind of odd not to see Bianca on the card and whatnot. Because I just feel like they should just get Bianca back as singles. Like maybe because I've seen Bianca be top dog for so long, you just kind of used to it. So it is like I know it's different with the tag team. I know it's to help Jade get over and everything. And I think I said this a while ago. Even when they first won the titles back at Backlash, like if it really wasn't for really Jade or Bianca, especially Bianca being in the match, nobody would really give a fuck about the match. Okay, if she wasn't in it, if she wasn't in it. It's because, like I said, these tag titles, like it is what it is. It's whatever. That's why I was in and out of this match, and I wasn't really surprised who won the titles here. So it is what it is. But let me ask this question: who really about to beat them? Like seriously, who really about to beat Bianca and Jade? Like what team? Like what we gonna do? Just start throwing people from NXT on their necks or something? Like come on now. So it is what it is. But I can't really say I'm surprised who won here. So that's my take on it.
Uh, here's the thing. I said it before we even got started on the pay per view. I already missed this match, folks. I'm sorry. I fast forward. I came in late, so I kind of wanted to like miss something to help me catch up. And so I felt this match was going to be it. I knew Jade Bianca were going to win the back, and that was good, and whatever, I guess. But like you said, who gonna beat them? Um, who? Yeah, it's just a couple of things I wanted to, say. I think, I think what they're gonna do is have them hold the title for a while, and they're gonna eventually have Jay turn. You know, the crowd going mild a little bit on her a little bit, not mild, but you know what I'm saying. The pops ain't as heavy as they were before. So I think Jade is a better heel anyway. To be perfectly honest. And
Yeah.
so I think they gonna have them turn, and that's how they gonna lose the title. They ain't gonna lose the title just off of you know somebody being better than them. Nah, they gonna lose the title off the strength of Jade probably turning on Bianca. Right now, you don't want to put Bianca back in that title picture. Not now. See, here's the thing with that title picture. It's so wonky. I like that word you've been using. I'm gonna take it. But it's so wonky because here's the situation. We got a champion that we gotta build. That match that she had last night with Michi was building block to make her look like a monster. You know what I'm saying? So when you put her against Bianca, and we still try to build Nia as a monster, well, you gonna have to tell me that either one, Bianca gonna have to be Bianca gonna have to beat Jay, or two, Jay. I mean not Jay. Bianca gonna have to beat Nia, or two, Nia gonna have to look like a monster, which y'all try to make her, which y'all try to build her to be, and you don't want to make her look like the monster with one of your biggest women superstars in the company. You don't want to do that. So Bianca needs to stay away just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. I think after the feud with Jay, if that happened after that, then she could go back probably in a January-ish, road to WrestleMania-ish. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have her now if we still try to build up Nia.
I could see your point. Well, shit, I probably would have said even after the Survivor Series, maybe. But like I said, they are still trying to build, Jax as a dominant champion, and whatnot. So Because, like I said, Bailey, she ended up coming back yesterday because I kind of forgot where she was at one point, and maybe she gets a rematch. I don't know. But I guess they still want to continue this whole thing. And even with the whole Stratton partnership with, excuse me, Jackson and whatnot, I guess they want to take their time on it. But, I do feel like at some point they are going to put Bianca back going for the title. It's just kind of, oh no, just kind of strange that Cena in like the main title picture, given like I said, she just been top dog for so long. It's almost a little bit weird kind of seeing her doing something different and whatnot. But like you said, it's probably gonna lead to whenever her and Jade break up, or one end up getting jealous of the other, or they find some screwy way to lose the tag titles. Because yeah, I could probably see Jade going heel first. Like, come on, we seen Jade heel in AEW and stuff. So um like I think it will work. So that's what I think it's really gonna lead to. But like I said, the match itself, it was the match. They won tag titles, and it is what it is. Like that's all I really got to say about it. So like I said, I was already kind of in out of the whole thing to begin with. But like I said, it's the women tag titles. Don't nobody really care. So it's been like that for a while. I don't care who booking it. Like Vince, Triple H, Sean, it is what it is. I don't really care.
You heard me? I said the audience probably gonna hear me, but yeah, I said nobody gives two flying fucks about it. Real talk. We just gotta be real about it. I don't want to, be one of those type of guys who be like negative, negative, negative. No, no, no. This is not negative. It's honest opinions. Now these are honest opinions that we need to address. The women, they gotta be some of the lowest segments. I need to look at the raw segments just like how Jim look at the look at the AEW segments that break them down, because that gotta be one of the women tag team division. I ain't talking about the women world title division, but the women tag team division gotta be one of the lowest raw ratings that they have every Monday. Because nobody really cares. I swear, it's one of those times that when they do put them out there, it's either me turning the channel or me walking away. Because it's like I'm not really invested in none of the teams, and they got good people at these teams. Like I could, I if those people would individually take it away from their teams and they was on single runs, I probably would be paying more attention to them than when they are tag team partners. Let's just break down the teams. And, if you will let me, the Pure Fusion Collect. I like Zoe. I like Sonya, and I love Shayna. And I wish they had stopped playing around with her, but individually I pay attention to them, but mm, collectively I haven't. I don't like the team name, and I don't like what the team direction is going. And that goes with almost every team except for probably Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I really think they a good tag team together. They just had a bad draw with the tag team title because they wasn't really the focus mostly all the shows. And so I think they a good tag team together. But the rest of them, you could break them up tomorrow. I don't really wouldn't care. So it's like the division got to get better. That's all.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with it. But it's like you said, I can't really say I care, especially when it comes to Raw. I'd probably be looking at my phone, probably playing the game, and like crowd don't really be caring too. So it is what it is on that. So maybe we'll see what happens in the future, but I don't know. But let's move on though. Strap match: Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. The only way to win this match, especially with the four corners set up with red and green lights, with both men strapped to each other, they have to end up, touching the four corners to win this match. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed this match. Going into it, it makes sense in a way, especially how Punk said, like, since you can't seem to stay away from me, we're gonna keep us together and whatnot. Personally, I thought this would have ended up being a cage match, honestly. And whatnot. Well, shit. Look at this match. I thought it could have been like a no DQ, false count anywhere, but I still like the match a lot. Punk immediately coming out there, which Drew ended up attacking from the behind as soon as the match even started, and just slammed to the commentary table and beating them with the strap and everything until they could finally get the straps on to both guys, and that's when the match actually began and whatnot. Punk immediately ended up in a GTS early with on in the match and was gonna go touch the corners, but he's like, nah, I'm just gonna whip him first and everything. And like I said, they end up being weapons involved. Obviously, I know they end up getting a table and whatnot, which at one point was like Drew was going for the future shot DDT and Punk backdropped them onto like the announce table and everything. I know there was like chair involved. I think it was like kendo stick, even with the turnbuckle. Not the turnbuckle, I think, but basically, both Drew ended up, setting up one of the chairs. I'm just kind of going by remember throughout the whole match and whatnot. But there was one point where like the table was set up to the outside, and Punk and McIntyre just deadlifts Punk in the air and drops him to the outside onto the ground, onto the table, which looked pretty safe by the way. So I didn't even think he fell brutally to the ground, but it's like, yeah, he just lifted him and just dropped him from the top all the way down. Okay, so I thought that was pretty crazy. I know Punk ended up getting the sharpshooter, which Drew did end up tapping throughout this whole match and even passing out because it didn't matter if he tapped anyways. Like the match still continues. One point, Drew, which I remember, like, and I almost forgot about this. What I know, like put him through the table, but like remember, he like lifted him up and he's like touching the corners and Punk ended up touching the corners too right after he touched him, which I guess he came to senses that both of them tried to fight for the corners, but they didn't end up making it then. So I thought that was pretty crazy. Drew was setting up with a Claymore then, um, and whatnot, but Punk ended up getting the GTS then after, and then he finally took the bracelet back, which, as everyone said, that a bracelet and a red leg on SmackDown has become more important than the titles nowadays. I see that this whole feud has now been invested into this bracelet or friendship bracelet or basically Punk's bracelet and whatnot, which he finally ended up getting him back, and he just GTS Drew like what 2, 3, 4 times out there, ended up touching all the four corners, and CM Punk won the match. So CM Punk, which now they're tied, it's 1-1. CM Punk gets his win back, which I figured that was gonna happen anyways. So now I do feel like it's going to be a rubber match and all this. Could be a Hell in a Cell, could be a steel cage match. I have no idea, but I know it's gonna be a third match though. But still, I thought this match was really good though.
Oh man, after after carefully just reminding myself how good this match was, I was like, man, this is my favorite match of the night. My goodness, they beat the holy hell out of each other. You made Bryce. It was some of those stuff, but I was wincing after some of the moves, after some of the stuff they were doing to each other, and every now and then I feel like how I was with when I was watching big matches when I was a kid, and this match made me feel like that. The CM Punk winning his first match in a decade, in the WWE. It's like, man, it just made me feel good, and I know it's gonna be a rubber match, and I can't wait for it, man. He gave that man like 5, 6 GTS, GTSs.
Straight
It
up
was, it,
murder,
when
murder.
he was murdered. Yes, it was, man. My goodness, it was a good match. It made me feel like a kid again. How I was watching WWE back in the day. It was like, oh my goodness, this felt brutal. It felt like a brutal big match, and I can't wait for the rubber match. And Drew, I can see how it's getting set up already because CM Punk already tweeted out that he done with Drew, but he said he done with Drew and he going for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I can see how the rubber match is about to get set up. If Drew might end up interfering or doing something to stop Punk from going for that World Heavyweight Championship. So man, I can't wait for the rubber match. That rubber match should be in a steel cage though, like you were talking about earlier. You were thinking it should be. I think it should be in a steel cage. That rubber match, just a regular steel cage. We don't know. We don't need no hell in a steel. I don't think so. But I think a regular steel cage would do. And man, it was my favorite match of the night. I really love this match.
It was brutal. They beat the hell out of each other. Like they were really laying on with the strap, and weapons were involved also. But like I said, the main thing was the strap. And Punk, yeah, he that bracelet, man. That bracelet is really over Larry the dog and his wife. So the bracelet is over.
Hey, the crazy part about it, something simple with that, man. I'm really glad that something simple with that really got over because they're not fighting for any championships right now, and they fighting for something that it's symbolic to one person, and the other person it don't mean a thing to them, but they just know it gets to the other person if they have it. So it's like I really like that. It's like with it's symbolic with the lake over there with the red lake over there SmackDown with the bloodline. It's like you can get stuff like that over if it's a good storyline, which both of those storylines are top notches. And I man, like I can't really say too much about this match. I'm gushing over this match because it was perfect. It was perfect, and like I said, it make you ready for the rubber match. And now that is going to be hard to pick. Who you gonna let go over?
Yeah, nah, that's true. Yeah, who's gonna win this whole series out, this whole feud? Who's gonna get the third win? So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. But great stuff overall, all around. Obviously, we'll see what happens on Raw. The next step is gonna be going into this, but it's definitely not over. Punk and Drew are tied, so we're gonna see what happens next. But yeah, like you said, 10.5 years since CM Punk has had a win in the WWE, so it's crazy. But like finally, the first match, like he finally got a win. That's how long it's been, folks. So yeah, really great stuff though. But moving on from clobbering time, next we go into the Judgment Day, or this Judgment Day Civil War, if you want to put it. But the Judgment Day versus the Terror Twins, Dominic and Liv versus Rhea and Priest. And what can I really say about this match going into it? I will say that basically Ripley and Priest beat the living hell out of Dominic and Liv through a majority of this entire match. I will say that. Like they literally just beat the hell out of them. Like seriously. And it's like the thing going into this is like you can't sit there and make me believe that, you know, Liv and Dom are gonna just be able to take out Ripley and Priest like that for multiple kind of reasons, especially selling and whatnot. But like you just see them getting thrown around and stuff, and just they're just dodging their moves and what you got. They're doing like a double razor's edge out there at one point. Like they had just beaten like the hell out of both of them, which was to be expected because that's what everybody wanted to see anyways. And one thing you say, at least with Priest, like he's getting more over his face now, especially with Ripley in this so-called Judgment Day Civil War. Because I said this even about Roman on SmackDown a while ago. Before them getting Jacob involved, but it's like, damn, Roman can beat the hell out of all these guys by himself. Why does he need backup for? He could just kill these guys. That's what I say about Ripley and Priest. What, they beating the hell out of the new Judgment Day with Finn? I don't even want to say Balor Club because he got too many goofballs behind him. But man, if these two are just beating the hell out of like 5 people out there, it's like, why should we take this team seriously? I know they've done it a little bit more, give them a fair advantage and whatnot, but just going through this whole match, they are just beating the hell out of both of them. And obviously, yes, Judgment Day did get involved running out there, McDonald and Carlito getting involved. They're going out there and, Finn hitting like sling blade, and Liv Morgan doing like a code red, hitting like the barricade. I ain't gonna lie, that did look pretty brutal and whatnot. But just like looking at this whole thing, Dominic ended up in a 619 and a frog splash, ended up being a kick out then, and Liv's like doing a suicide dive outside, which damn near missed Ripley by the way, and even tried to set up for Oblivion, but ended up blocking it. And you got the tables involved. Priest just taking out all the Judgment Day and just does like an inverted clothesline on Dominic. I almost thought the table didn't break, but he just fell out like crazy and whatnot. And basically, Liv's looking out to the outside, and then Priest tells Liv to turn around. Ripley headbutts her and hits the Riptide for the win. Obviously, Ripley will probably get a title shot again at some point, and we still got Finn versus Priest coming soon. But this is kind of what I expected this to be. Like I said, it was still good and whatnot, but this is what it was expected. Like, you couldn't convince me Dom and Liv were gonna somehow beat the hell out of Ripley and Priest, even with all the shenanigans. Like I said earlier, it's like, well, damn, what's the point of this whole Civil War when you got two people beating up the hell out of five people for it? So, that's basically what this was. This is what expected. They were going to beat the hell out of them, even with shenanigans. Still happens. So, like this Judgment Day Civil War thing, or wherever this is going to go, like I said, this new Judgment Day, they just kind of get beat half the time. Like they got wins, but when it comes to go against Ripley and Priest, like they just got killed here. That's all I can really say. They got killed.
Well, as they supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? Here's the thing with Liv and dominant characters. They are chicken shit heels. They not the heels like Gunther. It wouldn't work with Gunther because we'll be looking like, man, hold on, Gunther running away, Gunther getting his ass whooped. Like, nah, this ain't right. But when it comes down to Liv and Dominic, I would be surprised if it's not the other way. If it's not that way, if it's the
Especially
other way
Dominic.
around, I would definitely be surprised. Like, hold on, where Dominic saw looking strong and he over here power bombing niggas and just whooping niggas in 5 6 seconds. Nah, man, that look ridiculous. But I ain't gonna lie to you. The structure of this match, baby, it was pretty good. To be honest with you, it was like the times that that Dominic and Liv got some offense, it's because they they work together. You know what I'm saying? They work together to do something. Dominic will get beat up outside. Liv did something to Damien, and then distracted Damien. And then all of a sudden, Dom is in control because Damien got distracted. And there's certain things that made this match like, man, I like this match because it was expected for them to get whooped, but at the same time they getting some type of offense in. The Judgment Day came in to try to interfere. We all know what it boiled down to. It boiled down to Liv versus Rhea at Bad Blood for the Women's World Championship. Then you got Finn versus Damien at Bad Blood. It's some type of stipulation match. You know what I'm saying? So I'm enjoying the ride. It's better than I expected it to be. I really did like this. I really at first when it first was happening when Rhea first got injured and we was like Liv not really fit for this role as the main eventer or anything like that. Liv kind of bringing me around now because the storyline is not bad at all. But like I said, we all know what it boiled down to. It boiled down to Bad Blood and what they gonna do over at Bad Blood. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I've always been kind of iffy on the whole story anyway. So like it does work. I've always been kind of in and out of it, but like you said, Dominic and Liv being chicken shit heels and whatnot, and her stealing Dom from Rhea. Like I said, it fits the story and whatnot. Because like I said, still going first into this, I was still kind of whatever. Which for a while I was still to an extent on it. So I've always been kind of in and out of story, but given what just have him with the team of Ripley and Priest. So like I said, it gets Priest definitely more over as a face and everything right now. It does work for this whole thing. Like I said, it's gonna lead into a title match, which at Bad Blood, same with Finn and Priest. They're gonna have a match coming up. So like I said, the match did what it needed to do, and it sets up for the next pay-per-view and whatnot. So like I said, it was enjoyable, and this is what it was expected. Like you expected like Ripley and Priest to be very dominant throughout most of the entire match. Literally. Because like you're going against chicken shit heels, so it's not like Dominic's about to start whipping ass all of a sudden. Like, come on, we didn't barely see him whip Rey Mysterio's ass. So um, this is the same thing. So yeah, that's basically the best way to put it. But yeah,
Yeah,
still good stuff though.
yeah, match. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely good. But now we move on into the main event for the World Heavyweight Title. Randy Orton versus Gunther. One thing I will say before this match even began with the introductions, especially when it comes to Gunther's, we had to have Ludwig Kaiser show up and take the mic from Samantha Irvin so he could do the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, that whole thing. But the crowd went nuts for it. I'll be honest about this whole match. This was long. This is a very different style of methodical pace going into this because man, this went like 35 minutes, folks. And I would be honest, it was a lot of chopping, a lot of plotting, walking and hitting and whatnot, which it was still a good match. I'm not taking away from it, but there were just points in time where it was just kind of just going too long that the crowd did just amuse themselves by doing the wave out there and just chanting multiple amount of things out there. Because Gunther's supposed to be basically the big face right here. Okay, we're in his home territory and whatnot. But the people still love Randy Orton, even though they kind of booed him. They didn't really boo him all the way. Hey, it took him 15 years to start singing the theme song or whatnot, but they were still kind of with Orton at the same time. But like I said, it was just a lot of times where it did move slow, and it was hard hitting, but that's definitely the style that Gunther really goes by, especially when it comes to like walking and chopping and whatnot. But it was just points in time where it went long. They were like, don't get me wrong, they woke the crowd up with different spots, like what Orton dropped Gunther with the like the backdrop onto the table to the outside, like a real high backdrop that the table ended up crashing through, which was pretty crazy. Or RKO out of nowhere that obviously is gonna wake the crowd up and stuff. Gunther going for the power bombs and Orton still kicking out of it. And like I said, you just got them just chopping. And it was point where Orton was like trying to get the steel steps, which actually kind of took a minute too. So that was kind of starting to go a little bit long, also. Especially that's how you end up putting them through the table, like just stepping on the steel steps and then just lifting them and dropping them there, and still trying to go for RKO, and then Gunther finally gets the sleeper hold in and stuff, and Orton is just trying to get out of it like several times, and even slamming on his back when he lifted him up, but Gunther put him right back into the sleeper, and Orton ended up just passing out, and Gunther won decisively. Like, I'm not really surprised that Gunther won here. I figured he was going to win anyways for this match, and him and Randy Orton ended up shaking hands after, but I just thought this match went way too long, and I know we talked a little about this beforehand, but it's like damn near a Randy Orton match when you really think about it. Like, if you know a Randy Orton match, you kind of know what's expected to see. Like, we've seen Orton in somewhat long plotting matches that tend to kind of just go on and damn near get boring sometimes. Okay, like this was really right up its alley. It was just kind of going and going, and the crowd just started to amuse themselves. Like, I liked it. It was still a really good match, and everything, but I thought it just went too long. Like, it was just starting to drag throughout time. I don't think it needed to go 35 minutes, but I'm not surprised that it was the main event though. So that's my take on it.
Oh, well, yeah. I definitely agree. But we were talking about it earlier, and I was saying I would give the comparison to like this is the Randy Orton matches should never go past 20 minutes. Real talk. I really like Randy Orton. He really one of my top five favorite wrestlers of all time. But with that being said, I know his matches, and I know this. You should have him go past 20 minutes. It go too long. His move set his move set don't warrant a 20-minute match. You know what I'm saying? We know his set. And we've been knowing it for 20 years. And it don't and you cannot stretch that move set over 20 minutes. You just can't do that. You know, so but at the same time I really enjoyed it. At the same time though, even though I think it would go went too long, I think it uh, right now it's at a 3. If it was a 5 star, it was I mean at a 3 out of 5. It would have been a 4 if you would have knocked 10 minutes off of it. You feel what I'm saying? If you knock 10 minutes off of it, you probably been a 4, but it's a 3 right now to me. And it's like because it went too long. Gunther win it decisively though, Price. I was so surprised. I knew he was gonna win, but decisively, like man, made him pass out. What?
Yeah,
Huh?
like he did
What?
not tap.
He man, but that's still a decisive win. He made him pass out on the ground like that. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm next. And I was telling my cousin about it earlier, and I was saying how much I was saying that this was a SAR making match right here. There was one of those matches that said, "Hey, Gunther is a SAR, is a super SAR, not just a regular SAR. He's a super SAR, and he's gonna have that belt for a long time." And so overall, I give it a 3 because it went too long. It would have been 4 if they would have knocked 10 minutes off of it.
Yeah, I would agree. Maybe if it went like 10 minutes light, 10 minutes less, a little bit lighter, I probably would have liked it a little bit more. But it was points in time where even after the start, it was just starting. It was just starting to drag a little. Like that's what I would take out of it. And it's a different style of match. It's a different pace. It was more methodical and whatnot. So like when you see Gunther, you're gonna get a hard hitting match, and obviously it's a lot of chopping and whatnot. And same with Orton to an extent, minus the chopping and all that stuff. But you know, it's just points in time where it just kind of becomes like, all right, it's just kind of walking and hitting, or just rest holds and whatnot. Like they still beat the hell out of each other. Like, come on, the chops was still brutal and whatnot, but it just plotted. It was just it went on too long. But I still thought the match was good. But like we say, even with the crowd, they just kind of start to amuse themselves by damn it start doing the wave because they just kind of like, hey, we'll just do our own thing right now. I feel like maybe they got bored with the match or something, and they just wanted to just start chanting anything until something important happened that they did get back along with the match.
Yeah, I felt you on that, and like I said, it was like I think they woke up the crowd once they saw them because, like I said, they stopped and looked at the crowd once they saw the wave, and they said, "All right, cool, let's do something." And that remember right after that, Gunther had did that little spot where he was squeezing Randy Orton's face against the against the ring post.
Yeah.
Yeah, that woke them up right after that because that came right after the wave. After they looked at the wave, they did that spot, and then after that, then the crowd woke up after that. They were like, "Oh, that looked brutal. What the? What is he doing? Is he squeezing his face against the ring post?" I'm like, "Yeah, I ain't never seen that before, but that looked brutal." But yeah, man, it did go plotted too long and stuff like that. I just really think they just needed 10 more minutes. I mean, 10 minutes off of that, and you could have made a good match in 15 minutes. To be honest with you, you could have had a boring mid skit you know, to try to stretch out time. A lame, corny Miz skit. Miz was right there. How he'll do something corny is to stretch out time, but you ain't need to get no 35 minutes.
True, because even just going after this whole show, I know it's the main event. It was like 5 matches, which I've said it before. I feel like with 5 matches, you're just trying to stretch things out to literally make it go 3 hours. But then again, when you got multiple commercials and stuff throughout this entire match, like not the match, but like the entire show, depending on what version of Peacock you got. Because I'm going like myself, like it's 5 matches. How's this show going all the way from like 12 to almost 3 o'clock, damn near? And whatnot. Because like, wow, with 5 matches, this show probably could have ended like at 2:30 the most. I would feel like then going all the way to 3. Which but then it's a different country, and they got to get everybody work their time over there. It's not like Berlin really gets these type of shows frequent, anyways, especially a pay-per-view and whatnot. Given that they said they haven't had a televised event since Raw, damn near 20 something years ago. And whatnot. And yeah, I've heard the rumors or reports apparently about how they want to stick with the whole 5 match format. Personally, I still think 5 matches is too short for a pay per view. I ain't saying go 15 like AEW. Okay, I'm not saying go long. Some say it's to keep people's attention spans and whatnot. But I'm still gonna say I think it should be 7. But that's just my take on it. I've seen already comparisons where it's almost like, well, damn, this is like 3 hours of Raw watching this whole thing, except it's just matches on here. So, like I said, this wasn't a bad show. It was a good show, but it's one of those things. I look at this pay per view as damn near what a C B level show, I guess. But even like if you missed it live, I don't feel like you would have missed that much in a way. Like you can come back and watch it, but I'm not saying anything really earth shattering happened on this show. It was just a good show. Like I said, like the main was good, just went too long. The opener was good. The WWE title, it was good. Out of all the stuff story-wise we said about it, I think the strap match is probably the best thing on the whole show. Um, Judgment Day and them, that was a good fun match and whatnot. The women's titles is whatever to me. So that's why I just kind of go like it was just a good show. It's not much I can really say out of the whole thing. And like I said, with this 5 match format thing, it's whatever. I may not really like it, but it is what it is. I guess I don't know. I still think I probably go with 7 matches. Pay per view and all that, but this is whatever TKO is trying to do. So that's them.
Nah, man. To be honest with you, Bryce, I definitely agree with you. A 7 match format will be good. Will be a best because you get something like what we were talking about the main event. You get something like that when you stretch out a match too long and it wasn't good because how far you stretched it out. You could have. So with a 7 match format, you don't have to give certain matches 35 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And and that 5 match format is going to hurt bad blood a little bit because you got a lot of matches that you need to cramp in there. Cramp in there. You got whatever you want to do with the bloodline and Roman Reigns. Do you want a tag team match, or do you want a one on one? You don't know, but you need to fit in there, or you need to fit. You got to fit the world championship in there, and you got to fit the WWE the women's championship in there too. And to be perfectly honest, you got to put both. You don't have to put the world championship unless you go have to, unless you got him a opponent right away on Monday ready. If you do, you can put that in there too. But you hear what I'm saying, right? That 5 match
Yeah.
format is going to hurt them because you need to put other matches in that bad blood pay per view that really important and needs to be flushed out because you got not SummerSlam, you got Survivor Series coming right after that Bad Blood. So you need to really flush out some of these storylines before the end of the year, really.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. Looking at this whole 5 match thing, and I know it's been said, oh, they're making so much money and attention span. Everybody wants to act like this is the greatest era of all time. Now all of a sudden, it hasn't really gone on that long, but yeah, opinions vary. But still, I probably would go at least 7 because one thing I'll take from all these shows, are the tag titles ever defended on these pay-per-views anymore? Like, seriously, are they?
The last time the tag team titles was defended, Bryce, on a major pay per view was WrestleMania. That was it. Other than that, Bryce, on any pay per view since. It always been defended on the go home shows. Like if the Raw Tag Team Championship needed to be defended, it was gonna be defended on Raw, and vice versa for SmackDown. But it never defended on a pay per view. If I'm wrong, you can look it up. But I don't remember the any tag team titles being on a pay per view.
No, I agree. I think you're right because I think it was the last time we've ever seen the tag team titles was on WrestleMania. Now they just probably get defended before the actual pay per view on SmackDown, or maybe some other title match like the women's title, which was on SmackDown yesterday. The U.S. title and whatnot. That was an open challenge and stuff. But it's like, well, yeah, we're just not gonna put all shows. So we'll just put some title matches on SmackDown and whatnot, because it's not like we didn't see the Intercontinental on this show. They're already in some type of tournament thing going for that right now. Anyways, I don't even really know who's even going for Finn and McDonough right now for those tag titles. And we already saw it in the women's title, which was on this show, but in a tag team match. So
Very surprised they even squeezed that in there. Like I think it was pretty. I think it was like some more candidates that could have been in that spot. But I see what they trying to do. They really want people to pay attention to it. But you just gotta have good storylines. You know what I'm saying? I think what it missing is storylines, like people with feuds, actual feuds that we care about. And I think that's what happened with the women's tag team championship. It never in any feud that people would care about. So I think with a good storyline, I think that's a real reason why Bianca is in the division. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to make people care about it, and by putting Bianca in that, hey y'all, this is one of the biggest women superstars in the company right now. She got the tag team championship. Don't y'all want to pay attention to it? And we kind of like, nah, we don't want to really. We really don't care about Oseo. Bianca our girl, but we really don't care about the tag team championship. So and that's beginning to be on all fronts of the tag team championship, not just the women, the men too. I really don't care about them either. You know, yeah, it's on the bloodline, but it's a storyline don't revolve around the tag team championship. Shoot, the the red lady is more important than their tag team championships. And shoot, and so it ain't like I should care about them. And then overall, like you said, I forget that Madonna and Finn is the tag team champions because guess what? The tag team champions don't even, defend their titles like that. So it's like the tag team the tag team division is in a flux. But what you expect is a WWE. Like people expect the tag team division to be somebody should care about it. It's the WWE, man. Nobody care. They don't even care about the tag team division.
true. It's so crazy. We see more of the women's tag titles on the pay per views than the actual tag team titles themselves.
Yeah,
Like we only really see the women's ones on here. Like we never even see the actual titles from Raw or SmackDown on any of these pay per views. Like we never do. We see the women's one, but like you said, just because Bianca is that big of a star, they look at it as like, hey, we got her out here, so that'll somewhat help in a way. But I only think it does that to a certain extent or people just don't care. So it's like we said, when it comes to WWE tag teams, like they never really kind of cared about tag teams like that. And like I said, we barely even see them on the pay-per-view, or if you even care who the champions are on whether Raw or SmackDown. So that's why I was like, damn, when's the last time we even seen the tag titles on any pay-per-view? Like literally. So like you said, it kind of depends on the story, even with Raw. Like Raw will at least try to put something big on before a go-home show to get people to pay attention to. I don't really remember everything that happened on Raw last Monday, and I know it was a go home because what? I guess people are gonna care about Gable and them versus the Wyatts, which at this point they just Gable and them just get killed damn near every other week by them. So like that's why I wasn't so surprised when I saw that match on Monday. Like not saying it really was bad anything, but it's like, oh, Gable lost again. It's like I'm not gonna go into the whole thing because that'd be a long enough rant as it is when I look at Gable's like push sometimes of how I don't know, his push is still weird to me, and like I said, the Wyatt stuff to me is whatever. I like it's one of those things where it's like I don't know, it's Penn State versus Slipknot. That's what it is. It's Penn State versus Slipknot. So
I heard Bryce. I heard that you better not sign a new You better not sign a new contract with the WWE. That means your push. You just gonna get a bad push. That's what I've been hearing.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of people looking at it with Gable right now because, like, man, when we go get the Gable Unleashed, man, we thought at least would have won the Intercontinental title. Then he just get killed and run from the Whites every other week. Even with this new team, we got the new Angle Alliance right here, and I'm like, well, yeah, they beat up Otis and them again, but oh no, it's the Whites. Oh, dude, they just get straight up murdered by the new Wyatt family. So even like Bo Dallas, Howdy, whatever we calling him now at this point. Like he wasn't bad out there, but I was just like oh, Gable lost again. All right, that's all I need to know. Like the crowd, like they seem to like it. So some people still look at it as like a tribute thing to Bray Wyatt, obviously, but Gable it's just kind of weird to me with him right now because it's like everybody said, well, we getting Pert Gable Unleashed. I'm like, I have no idea anymore. He just gets killed by the Wyatt family every other week now, so it is what it is on that, I guess.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's important that I told y'all. And it's like I told everybody who could listen to the podcast, listen to every video that I've been on, and I said it. They don't believe in Gable, and it wasn't like they believe that Gable they signed him to a new contract. They believe he a good hand, and good hands are good utility players. You know what I'm saying? They are guys that oh man, where we need somebody to have a good feud with the Intercontinental Champion. Well, shoot, that's just throw Chad Gable in there. That's it. It ain't like they believed in him to do anything or to beat Sami Zayn when he was the champion. Nah, they know that he would go out there and deliver a good match with Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. So that's the reason why they threw him in there. And
I
same thing with this the YS6. They know, oh, we need the YS6 to be put over more than this spooky stuff. We need them to be good in the ring too. So guess what? We throw them out there again. And we throw Chad Gable out there again and make uh Uncle Howdy look good in the match. He's just a good hand. He really is. And I think that's the ceiling. He might end up in his career. He might end up being a intercontinental champion or a U.S. champion, depending on what show he on. But I, I think that's a ceiling, though. I don't think nothing more that did that.
Because everybody always said this guy's supposed to be the next Kurt Angle.
I'm sorry, they want that so bad, but my goodness, let's just have the one Kurt Angle that we do got and cherish those memories and remember those times. And shoot, you got the WWE Network. old Peacock. Go watch some of the old matches. He not coming back, and I don't see another him coming in ever again.
Hey,
And that,
they all thought that with Gable Stevenson, and look what happened.
they don't see. There we go. They do they they put the expectation on these guys and expect them to be these people because they got the same background. Oh, he won an Olympic gold medal too. So what? It don't mean he gonna be Kurt Angle. Like Kurt Angle was just a diamond in the rough, man. Nobody
A
expect
rarity.
to happen. My goodness, nobody expect that this man to have the career that he had. And so, and like, you know, and you don't know if these people are that dedicated to the sport as Kurt Angle. And Chad, I mean, Gable Stevenson probably wasn't as focused, or and he wasn't probably didn't like the sport that as much as Kurt. But we just can't do that. There's only gonna be one Kurt. There's only gonna be one Austin. There's gonna only be one Rock, one Triple H. Leave it alone. That love that era while it was there, but it ain't coming back.
Yeah, 'cause like I said, people kind of expect like this is the next something, and it doesn't really end up being that. So I know people still look like I said they look with a Gable right now, not and they tried with Stevenson, and it did not work. So like I said, I think people got to stop putting like this is the, like remember the guy they said was going to be the next Brock. Tell me what
Yeah.
happened to him.
What happened to him? He got sent to AEW with a
And
whole
he
bunch
got let
of
go from AEW.
hey, right, got let go for AEW. They man, these people that they just talk about, oh, that's the next woo, that's the next woo. Like, come on, man, let's cut it out. That kind of damage everybody else is because now we looking for, oh man, is this man gonna be the next woo woo? And if he falls short, then we get to make fun of him now because everybody else put this expectation on this man. Oh man, everybody said he was gonna be the next woo woo. Well, he didn't say he was gonna be the next woo woo. So let the man go. Don't hold that against him. That's not his fault. That everybody put this expectation on him. And like I feel bad for some of these guys. Sometimes I just wish that some of these guys is just go in there regular people and nobody cares about them and not put no expectations so they can grow.
True. So yeah, you gotta stop putting the lay because yeah, that Brock thing, like yeah, look how that turned out. So yeah, also next Brock, and look what happened. So he won the next Brock. Now what? So like, okay, because he looked like Brock. Okay, because he looked like Brock. That makes you the next Brock because he looks like him. That don't
Right,
make no sense. Well, he
right.
looked like him.
Makes sense. They never do. Like I feel bad for these guys sometimes, man. You know, and they put so much expectation on them. They say they the next this, and then they gotta deliver or else it's done.
Yeah, like yeah. So they gotta stop putting that on them. But overall thought on the entire show.
I really liked it. I told you, I really enjoyed it. And like I said, the only match the fast forward was the women's tag team match. But everything else, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the mixed tag match. Remember, oh yeah, I wanted to go back. You were trying to compare the level of pay per view this is. Oh, this is straight up beat pay per view. Ain't no ifs ands or buts about it. The reason why I say it's a beat pay per view was certain storylines is not finished. It's not it's completely not finished yet. It's like the women. I mean the big tag team match. That's the only reason why they put a big tag team match on this pay per view because it's a B level pay per view and they wanted they wanted to end on some type of other pay per view that like they've been advertising for the past 2 months now. You know what I'm talking about, Bad Blood. They've been advertising that bad boy for the past 2 months now. You know, so I think it's a B level pay per view, but it was a good B level pay per view, and I enjoyed it.
So nah, definitely good stuff though. like I said, overall, like I said, it was just a good show. Like I already explained what I thought about earlier, but yeah, it was just a good show. That was it, and it just builds up to the next show. So that's all I can really take from it. It's just like I said, Germany doesn't really get this type of stuff all the time, so it's just a bigger show for them. But yeah, this is like a B level, C level show, in my opinion. So that's what I think about it. And I thought the best thing on here was Punk and Drew. So yeah. Other than that, though, yeah, we're done with this here. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. Hit the like button, hit that notification bell. You got anything to plug before we leave from out of here?
No, nothing else. Nothing else. Just follow me on Twitter, straightface40, and that's about it.
All right, then. But yeah, other than that, we out of here. We'll see y'all then. Maybe the next review will probably be all out for next week. Maybe no mercy tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But I know definitely all out for next week.
Well, man, these matches are all out. They looking too good. So I might tell you what I might do on by next week.
All right. What about no mercy?
Um, whatever. If you down for it, I'm down for it.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see. Depending how it go, we'll see what happens. But yeah, other than that, we out here. See y'all then. Peace.